You should do a video on your flaws and what you have done wrong in your past relationships. Challenge accepted, my friend. Pull up a chair, grab a glass of wine, get your popcorn, and let's go. Number 1, I was anxious attached. I was in desperate need of constant reassurance because I had abandonment and rejection issues, because I felt like my father neglected me and abandoned me. Number 2, I was a vacillator in my love style. That meant that I vacillated between two opinions. You're amazing and you're horrible. I love you, I hate you. I was so extreme. It felt kind of good because I could be a victim. Number 3, I was a people pleaser. I was uncomfortable with other people's discomfort, so therefore I didn't speak my truth. And as a result, I started to become very resentful towards the people in my life because they would just walk all over me. Number 4, I did not enforce my boundaries. I spoke my boundaries, but I didn't enforce them. So therefore, people could treat me badly and I would continue to forgive them over and over and over again because I thought that that was the righteous thing to do. But also, it felt good to be a martyr. And number 5, I was codependent as hell. I was dependent on them to make me feel loved, valuable, worthy, because I didn't know how to do that for myself. So if they were in a bad mood and they weren't able to make me feel loved, I was in a bad mood too. And I couldn't pull myself out of that. Number 6, I hated admitting I was wrong. That meant I had to be vulnerable. And I used to think that vulnerability was weakness. I used to think it's me against him, as opposed to it's me and him against the problem. Number 7, I had a hard time being authentic. I worried too much about what people thought about me, even my partner. I always wanted them to see me as this strong, sexy, could do everything and anything independent woman. I didn't want to need somebody. Number 8, I used to be a perfectionist. I mean, like, for reals. Everything had to be perfect. Everything had to look perfect. I had to look perfect. The kids had to look perfect. The house had to look perfect. Every event had to look perfect. Now, as an event planner, that's a good thing. But not when it comes to your home life. Number 9, I was controlling. Even though it's hard to admit that, I was constantly trying to change them to be the type of person that I needed. I was constantly begging them to love me the way I needed to be loved, as opposed to just walking away because they couldn't. Number 10, I didn't see people for who they were. I saw people for who I wanted them to be. So I would create a character in my mind of who this person was so that I could fall in love with them, because I loved the feeling of falling in love. And I didn't see them clearly for who they were. That was shitty and unfair of me. So those are my flaws that I have been working on for the last 12 years. Your turn.